Hi, in this one we're going to be going ahead with part 3, which is functions of our section 11 programming workbook. This has question 6, which is shipping calculator. The question says, an online retailer provides express shipping for many of its items at a rate of 10.95 for the first item and 2.95 for each subsequent item. Write a function that takes the number of items in the order as its only parameter. Return the shipping charge for the order as the function's result. Include a main program that reads the number of items purchased from the user and displays the shipping charge. So basically, this question is saying that we need to create a function that takes the number of items ordered by the user as a parameter or as the only parameter. So it just takes one parameter, which seems to be an integer parameter. Now, what this function needs to do is it needs to return a total shipping cost or the total shipping cost of all of these items. So the total shipping cost is going to be calculated with this logic. The first item will always cost 10.95 or $10.95 to ship, and then each subsequent item will cost $2.95 to ship. This means that let's say there are 4 items, then the first item costs $10.95, and then each item after that, so the second, third, and fourth item would cost $2.95 each for shipping. So let's just go ahead and write this program. So in PyCharm, I've just created a new project as always for this question. And the first step is going to be to take user input. So let's call this something like number of items equals input. And the input simply going to be kindly enter, whoops, let me correct this typo. So kindly enter the number of items ordered. Awesome. So now that we have this input, let's go ahead and do the mathematics of this program. But wait, if you think about it, this input from the input function is always going to be a string. And if you want to perform mathematical operations, we should just typecast this into an integer or float. For this program, we need to typecast it into an integer simply because the number of items always have to be whole numbers or they can never be fractions, right? And for that, we'll be using integers. You can always order 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 100 items, but you cannot order 1.5, 1.7 items, right? So that's why we're going to be using the int typecast for this input. Next, let's just write the function. So the function here would be def, something like shipping calculator. And then this shipping calculator function would need some changes with the typos and also a parameter, which is number of items. Awesome. So now that we have our only input that the function takes, let's create a new variable inside this called final shipping price. And that's going to be equal to something, right? So that's where the mathematics come in. So let's take an example. Let's say the number of items are 4. Then your final shipping cost would be, for the first item, it would simply be 10.95. And then for the next 3 shipping items, it would be 3 multiplied by 2.95, correct? So the final shipping cost is going to be 10.95 plus 3 multiplied by 2.95 in a bracket. So let's use this logic right here in our final shipping price. So the first item is going to be 10.95 always. So we have 10.95. Then what we need to do is accept the first item, the rest of the items. So number of items minus 1, right? Multiplied by 2.95. And then we'll put this whole thing into a bracket just so that it becomes more readable. Remove this example from here and then return final shipping price. Yeah. So we've returned final shipping price, and now here what we want to do is use an if-else statement to first check if the items ordered are 0, because if the items ordered are 0, then that's pretty much an invalid input, or maybe the price should just be 0. So if number of items equals 0, or well, let's say less than or equal to 0, then print invalid input. Else, what you want to do is you want to print something like the final shipping price is, and you want a dollar sign right here, and we'll put a comma. And now here, let's call this function shipping calculator. So that'll be shipping calculator, and this function would take our number of items. So that'll be number of items. Awesome. But now the question is, why are we getting this red line here? It says unresolved reference shipping calculator. That's strange because we already have our shipping calculator defined here, and the naming is also the same. So the issue with this could be that the function is defined after it is being called. So in Python, remember that whenever you want to call a function, you need to define it before it's being called. And that's why we define the function right here above where it's being called. So now let's run this code and see if that works for us. So let's say we've got 4 items. It says the final shipping price is $19.8. So is that correct? Let's check it out. So to check it out, we'll simply write a print statement. So that should be 10.95 plus 2.95 plus 2.95 plus 2.95. That is the total shipping price for 4 items. Now if I run this, just write 4 again, and now it says 19.7999997, but it has been rounded to 19.8. So, well, that is our final shipping price, and the answer is correct. So well guys, this was a very simple functions program which had some mathematics, some logic in it. I hope you guys understood and you guys are on the same page with this course. If you have any questions, any doubt, as always, just put it down in the comment section and we'll solve it for you ASAP and in the best way possible. Until then, just have fun and I'll see you in the next one.